How do you tell if someone is attracted to you or just being very friendly? Do they ever initiate the friendliness? Responding to someone else's kindness is a lot different than initiating it. But even still, the only sure way to know is to ask. There is a girl that I work with that has asked me to go spend the weekend with her in NYC, so I would assume that she's flirting/interested in me. I mean, she's kinda flirty with everyone, it just seems like it's more so with me. She always makes a point to talk to me when I walk by, and we're always making each other laugh anytime we talk. But I'm afraid of trying to make a move, as since I work with her and she's way out of my league. As you/Rumple5skins said, greater than this reminds me of my other often repeated piece of advice: you are not the commissioner of her league. She decides whether you get to be in it or not. How can she do that without a chance to scout you? Go for it. If she's into you, cool. If not, you're just work colleagues. You don't. It's a leap of faith. That's all it is. That's all it is, Miles. A leap of faith. Not bad, kid. Someone tells you years later. They tell you years later after you've moved hours away, and it turns out she never said anything because she thought you had feelings for her other friend who you didn't have feelings for. She was just sexually harassing you in the middle of English class. You need to have just got engaged the week before too. You don't. One person's just being friendly is another's take me to a hotel and fuck me right now. This is also exactly why people really need to stop the generalizing of entire genders' behavior. Being a hetero male, I can only speak about women in terms of dating them, but a lot of women do not realize what you just said. One woman's hard to get is another's take a hint. One woman's insult is another woman being playful. One woman's flirt is another woman's friendly. This is why men can't take a hint, ladies. You are all different. Same goes for guys. Your flirt might be another guy's aggressive. Your nice gesture may be another guy's sweeping her off her feet. Edit, dang, you dudes are brutal on typos. Do all women expect men to take a hint? That's a generalization too, haha. Usually the realization comes 10 years later when you are trying to fall asleep. As my dear old dad used to say, women who work for tips are not flirting with you. We used to extend this to if she's being paid to talk to you, she's not interested. Twitch.tv. If you get an arranged marriage, it's a 50-50, assume attraction and ask them out. If they say no, you get your answer. If they say yes, you get a date. Step 1, ask her out. Step 2.1, if she rejects you, you got your answer. Step 2.2, if she doesn't, she has a bad taste in men. Edit 1, I saw a lot of people comment something like r/nice guy. It was meant as a self-roast. Not something bad. And even if you got it, it's just a joke. Calm down. Edit 2, for all those who commented r/nice guy. r/whoosh. I was once called into HR for allegedly flirting with an employee, not part of my own team. Her proof? I was always friendly, offered her milk to go with her coffee, and worst of all, once at an after work, I bought a round of drinks for everyone, her included. The head of HR was a bit puzzled about the whole situation, and asked her what would she then suggest we do to resolve the situation, and she requested that I would stop being friendly to her, and just leave her be. This poor woman just could not accept that I was being friendly. I have a boyfriend. May I have his number? By how they look at you or act around you versus other people. Difficult to gauge if you both are alone, say in a concert or a trip. When I met my last girlfriend, our eyes met across a crowded dance floor. She rolled her eyes at me, so I picked them up and rolled them back. So what do you do if they have attached ties? Roll mine to her. If they act the exact same way with other people, you're out of luck. Or everybody's in luck. I see you've also met my ex. Edit, Jesus. For every one of you that ended up dating the town bicycle and didn't know it going in, my thoughts are with you in these trying times. Also, get tested. Flirting's basically a dumb game of chicken with gradual escalation, or just ask if they haven't, so, usually pretty obvious. I've had a lot of people ask me this just because they're nosy. not a guarantee of attraction. My aunt asked me last week. Glad I missed that signal. Depends on where you live. Here in England, being anything other than cold and aloof is seen as basically throwing yourself at someone. She was working as a waitress in a cocktail bar. This much is true. Oh, that's easy. No one is ever attracted to me. It's not always easy. With my fiancée, when we started hanging out, I would convince myself she liked me and then talk myself out of it. I would walk her home and she'd give me a really awkward friend hug, then run inside, leaving me feeling like I'd misread the signals completely. This went on for about 3 weeks before we finally kissed at a party. I asked her about it afterwards and it turns out she was doing the same thing. 7 years and a proposal later, I think she might have a crush on me. Guys, I don't know, man. In high school I went to a dance with a guy as friends and then he kissed me as friends and then we brutally fucked behind the gym as friends and we've been dating as friends for about 7 years and we're getting married next week as friends, plus I'm knocked up with his babies as friends. You can never really know, man. Some people are in it for the long con. Thank you for that wonderful story, you/cop daddy Karen. Edit, my first silver is for noting someone's username. Nice. Step 1, cut a hole in a box. Step 2, put your junk in the box. Step 3, mark box with free stuff on it. If they're a cashier, waiter, clerk etc., don't get your hopes up. Or when their name is Weedman420 Bone God. If I'm showing you affection, it means I actually like you. Well, you can't ever really know, like even if she sleeps with you, she might just be Canadian, so honestly you shouldn't get your hopes up and you better keep looking and wondering. Wow, that was pretty. Casually explained, lol. I'm glad you understood the reference. Seriously? Nobody is going to link the Duda guide? https://youtube.b/saforia_9u edit. Thanks guys. Gold and silver and doubled my karma. Reddit confuses me. D. As a woman, I can tell you that video was right on, great information for op. As a man, I can tell you that video was right on, great info for op. Ask them. This is number 1. There was a waitress at a bar that my buddies and I had for like a year. I was into her, but couldn't tell how she felt. She was always fun and flirty, but I realized when she would first walk up to our table, laugh or make a joke, she would look at me. I assumed that meant there was at least a chance she liked me, so I asked her out and she said yes. She was beautiful, had a great figure and was super down to earth. She also turned out to be someone who loudly cheered at high points of movies, and I just don't need that in my life. We went our separate ways. I had this exact situation happen to me before, so I asked her out. She gave me her number and mentioned that she and her boyfriend were going to a funeral tomorrow, so she wouldn't be around. What kind of response was that? By reading someone's comment on Reddit about how they missed all the signs and then you realize that the same thing happened to you and now you lie there contemplating your life. But you still can't be sure. Yeah, maybe she's Canadian and she's just being polite. I automatically assume people are being friendly. It's habit. Edit, geez, didn't expect to wake up with 50+ replies in my inbox in result to self-deprecation. But I think I should clarify some things. I'm aromantic now after struggling with feelings towards romance in general for a bit, but before I discovered what aromanticism was, I just assumed people were being friendly because I was, and still am, too unattractive. Flirting wasn't my strong suit either, and I had a terrible track record with guys. Read, one who was an autistic furry liar, and the other who was an autistic, unhygienic, clueless dude. Plus I can't commit to a relationship. Depression. Though a guy I know apparently has a crush on me, and from our interactions I just assumed he was being friendly. Imagine my surprise when his mom told me he was crushing on me. I never would have known otherwise. Edit 2, okay, one more edit. I realized that not all autistic guys and furry guys are bad BFs, y'all do you. This was just a case of bad luck for me. Said guy who has a crush on me also has autism and he's a really kind-hearted dude beneath his frowny exterior. Hygienic too. I used to, and retrospectively I see that I missed a shitload of opportunities. Oh, look at Mr. with the opportunities here. If they ask you to take off your clothes, chances are they're just being friendly. Or they're Canadian so they're being polite. Yes, that casually explains it. Really, with some people you cannot tell. I knew a girl who was super friendly with me, I got interested, and then a few weeks around her I saw this was how she treated every guy. Smiles, oh stop it you, flirting. I wasn't special here. I moved on. I knew a girl who friendly with everyone. We sat down at a birthday party and talked non-stop for 3 hours. She was friendly with people, but I hadn't seen her do this before. I got her number and called her, we talked until my phone died. Our 10th wedding anniversary was about 6 weeks ago. Our oldest kid turns 7 in a few months. Are you sure she's into you? Seems too early to tell. I thought a few times during the wedding ceremony, gosh, I hope she's not doing this just to be polite. No, the stripper is not attracted to you. I beg to differ, I have a massive gravitational pull. But do you have thin sweatpants? That really drives them wild, you know. If she says WTF step bro, you were wrong. Actually that means you were right, you lick them. Without permission, you just go for it. Facial licks are the most effective. That's the taste of a liar. Pro tip, you'll never know if you don't ask. Schrodinger's date edit, thanks for the awards.